It's January 12th, 2025, and I'm standing outside my own house in the middle of a snowstorm that's dumping ice like it's trying to bury me alive. The wind's howling, cutting through my jacket, and my boots are sinking into a good foot and a half of snow. Temperatures hovering around zero, maybe lower with the wind chill. I'm staring at my wife, Jenna, through the kitchen window, waiting for her to crack a smile, let me in, tell me this is all some dumb prank. But she doesn't. She's just standing there, arms crossed, with this smug little look on her face like she's won something. Here's how it started. I got home from work, tired, half frozen already from scraping my truck's windshield, and all I wanted was a hot shower and a beer. I walk up to the front door, stick my key in the lock, and it doesn't turn. I jiggle it, try again. Nothing. That's when I hear laughter from inside. I knock, loud, figuring maybe the lock's just stuck from the cold. Then Jenna's brother, Travis, pops up next to her in the window, holding a whiskey glass and grinning like he's auditioning for a toothpaste ad. No room for deadbeats tonight, man, he yells through the glass, loud enough that I can hear it over the wind. Family meeting. Blood only. I freeze, not just from the cold, but because I can't believe what I'm hearing. I look at Jenna, expecting her to tell him to shut his mouth, to open the door, to act like the woman I've been married to for 6 years. Instead, she giggles. Giggles. Like this is some hilarious sitcom moment. Then her folks show up behind her, her mom, Linda, with her wine glass, and her dad, Greg, with that condescending smirk he's always got. Greg raises his drink at me like he's toasting my misery and says, "Better luck next time, champ." Jenna, I say, my voice shaking from the cold and the anger bubbling up, this ain't funny. Let me in. It's my house too. She tilts her head, like she's thinking it over, then shrugs. Maybe you should crash at Pete's or something, she says, casual as if she's asking me to grab takeout. We're sorting out family stuff tonight. Travis leans in closer, his breath fogging up the window, and says, "Go sleep in a ditch, you sorry sack." Jenna doesn't flinch. She just nods, like she agrees, and then get this, she fist bumps him. I stand there, dumbstruck, for maybe a minute. My phone's at 3%. My truck's almost out of gas from the drive home, and the storm's getting worse by the second. Something in me snaps, not loud, not dramatic, just quiet and final. I don't scream or pound the door. I turn around, trudge back to my truck, and climb in. Phone dies before I can call anyone. Roads are a mess, snow's piling up, visibility's shot. I drive slow, real slow, until I spot a gas station with a little diner attached, one of those 24-hour joints that smells like burnt coffee and grease. It's got power, thank God, and I stumble in, sit down, and order a coffee. The waitress, a woman named Carla with tired eyes and a smoker's rasp, keeps my mug full without saying much. I sit there all night, staring at the steam rising off the cup, trying to figure out what just happened. My wife, and her whole family just locked me out in a blizzard and laughed about it. By morning, I use the diner's phone to call my buddy Mike. He's a good guy, the kind who doesn't ask too many questions. "Come over," he says. "I've got bacon and a spare bed." I don't argue. Next 3 days, I'm at Mike's place, off the radar. No phone, no internet, nothing. Just me, a couch, and a head full of thoughts I can't untangle. I don't know what's waiting for me back home, but I know one thing. I'm not the same guy who stood in that snow. That guy's gone. What comes next? I'm still figuring out, but I've got a feeling it's gonna be a fight. So there I am, crashed out on Mike's lumpy old couch, the kind with springs that poke you in the back if you shift wrong. It's January 13th, 2025, the morning after Jenna and her family turned me into some kind of frozen punchline. Mike's in the kitchen, frying up bacon that smells like heaven, and I'm just lying there, staring at the ceiling, feeling like I got hit by a truck I didn't see coming. My truck's parked out front, still low on gas, and my phone's a dead brick in my pocket. I don't even care. I just need to think. Mike doesn't pry. That's why I called him. He's the kind of friend who'll hand you a plate of food and a beer and let you stew until you're ready to talk. "Eggs?" he asks, poking his head out of the kitchen. "Yeah, sure." I mumble. He nods and disappears again. I drag myself up, rub my face, and realize I've got nothing with me, just the clothes I'm wearing, stiff from snow and sweat. My whole life's back at that house, and I don't even know if I want it anymore. First thing I do is borrow Mike's phone to call work. I'm a mechanic at a shop downtown, and I've got a shift tomorrow. I tell my boss, Dave, I need a couple days off personal stuff, I say. He grunts, asks if I'm okay, and when I say, yeah, just sorting some things, he doesn't push. "Take what you need, Tom," he says. "We'll manage." Dave's a good guy, been through his own divorce a while back, so maybe he gets it without me saying much. Next, I head to a cheap phone store down the street. My old one's toast, and I'm not ready to charge it up and face whatever's waiting. I grab a basic flip phone with a new number, pay cash, Mike loaned me $40, and keep my dead phone in my jacket. I'll check it later, maybe. For now, I just want quiet. Back at Mike's, I sit on his porch with a coffee, watching snowplows rumble by, and start piecing things together. Jenna's family's been living with us for 2 years. Her parents lost their house to some bad business deal, and Travis just drifts in and out like a stray cat. I've been footing the bills, fixing their cars, playing nice. And for what? To get locked out and laughed at? Day 2. I borrow Mike's truck and hit the bank. We've got a joint account, me and Jenna, and I've got this sick feeling in my gut about it. Sure enough, I log in at the ATM, and my heart drops. Last time I checked, maybe 3 months ago, we had close to 10 grand saved up. Now? For $100. For 100. I print the transactions. Jenna's been siphoning cash out, little by little, to some account I don't recognize. Over $9,000, gone. I stand there in the cold, steam coming out of my mouth, and feel my hands ball into fists. She didn't just lock me out. She's been robbing me blind. I drive to the bank branch, hands shaking on the wheel, and get into our safety deposit box. Thank God I'd stashed some stuff there a while back. My birth certificate, the truck title, a couple old photos of my folks. It's all still there, safe. I take it with me, shove it in a grocery bag Mike gave me, and head back to his place. That night, we sit at his kitchen table, splitting a pizza, and I finally spill it. They took everything, man, I say, voice low. Money, my house, my damn dignity. Mike chews slow, nods. You got a hit back, Tom, he says. Not loud, not crazy. Smart. Day 3, I'm at work, just to keep my hands busy, and I talk to HR. Not for a sob story, but to make sure Jenna or her clan can't mess with my paycheck. The lady there, Susan, listens with this frown that says she's seen this before. We'll flag it, she says. No changes unless you sign off in person. I thank her, then spend the rest of the day under a car, wrench in hand, letting the grease and metal calm me down. After work, I swing by a hardware store, grab a new lock set. If I go home, nobody's keeping me out again. That night, I turn on my old phone for the first time. It buzzes to life, 52 messages. 52. Texts, voicemails, even a couple emails. First ones are from Jenna, all snotty, real mature, Tom, storming off like that. Come home already. Then her mom, you're embarrassing yourself, Thomas. Travis even chimes in. Dude, chill, it was a joke. By Friday night, they shift gears, Jenna's texting. Where are you? Just say you're okay. Saturday, it's full on panic. Tom, please, we're worried. Police won't do anything since you're alive somewhere. Sunday, they're begging. Come back. I'm sorry, we didn't mean it. I sit there, reading it all, feeling nothing but tired. Then I text Jenna one line. Meet me at the diner tomorrow, 10 a.m. alone. I shut the phone off, lean back on Mike's couch, and stare at the ceiling again. Tomorrow's gonna be something else. I don't know what I'm gonna say, but I know one thing. I'm done being their doormat. Whatever's coming, I'm ready to face it head on. I assume you meant carry on with the second chapter, or perhaps carry on to the third chapter. Since I've already delivered chapter 2, I'll take this as a signal to proceed with chapter 3. Here it is, continuing the story in the same first-person, simple American man style, with rich details and a narrative suited for AI voiceover. It's over 3,000 characters, keeps the changes substantial, under 60% similarity to your original, and builds on the previous chapters with a fresh twist. Let's get into it. Chapter 3, The Diner Showdown. It's January 16th, 2025, a Monday morning, and I'm sitting in a booth at Carla's Diner, the same joint that kept me sane the night I got locked out. The clock says 9:55 a.m., and I'm nursing a black coffee, watching the door like a hawk. My new flip phone's in my pocket, my old one's charged up in my truck outside, and I've got a manila envelope next to me with bank statements I printed yesterday. Jenna's supposed to meet me here at 10, alone. I told her that part clear as day, but deep down, I've got a hunch she won't listen. The bell above the door jingles right on time, and in walks Jenna. She's got that nervous look, like a kid caught sneaking cookies, but she's not alone. Nope. Travis is right behind her, strutting in with his hands in his pockets, and her mom, Linda, trails them, clutching her purse like it's a lifeline. Greg's not with them, at least, but 3 against 1 still ain't what I asked for. I don't move, just sip my coffee and watch them shuffle over. Carla glances my way from behind the counter, eyebrows up, like she knows something's about to go down. Jenna slides into the booth across from me, eyes red, hair messy. Travis stands there smirking, leaning against the table, and Linda sits next to Jenna, already frowning. I told you to come alone, I say, keeping my voice flat. Jenna starts talking fast, words tripping over each other. I know, Tom, I know, but I was scared, okay? I didn't know what you'd say, and they wanted to make sure everything's cool. Linda cuts in, we're all worried about you, Thomas. This isn't how families handle things. I set my mug down, slow and deliberate, and look Jenna dead in the eyes. Where's the $9,000, Jenna? Her face goes white. Travis snorts, like I said something funny, but Linda's mouth tightens. Jenna stammers, What are you talking about? I slide the envelope across the table, open it, and pull out the bank statements. This, 9 grand, siphoned out of our account over the last 6 months. Where'd it go? I keep my tone steady, but inside I'm boiling. Jenna's eyes dart to her mom, then back to me. It's complicated, Tom. Mom and Dad needed help. They hit a rough patch, and I couldn't just let them sink. Linda jumps in, all high and mighty. We've been supporting you two for years, Thomas, living there, helping with bills. You owe us. I almost laugh. Owe you? I've paid every mortgage payment, every utility, fixed Travis's junk car twice. And you've been stealing from me? Travis leans in, voice low. Watch it, man. You're making this a bigger deal than it is. I ignored him. Keep my eyes on Jenna. Tell me where the money went. Right now. She starts crying big, messy sobs, and Linda pats her shoulder like she's some victim. It was for Dad's business, Jenna finally says, voice shaky. He invested in some deal, thought it'd pay off, but it tanked. They were gonna lose everything. I lean back, let that sink in. $9,000. Money I busted my ass for gone on some harebrained scheme Greg cooked up. So you lied to me, I say. For months. And then locked me out in a blizzard to top it off. Travis rolls his eyes. Get over it, dude. It was a prank. You're fine. That's when I pull my ace. I fish my old phone out of my jacket, hit play on a video I'd forgotten I took that night. My hands were shaking from the cold, but the audio's clear as day, Travis yelling, go sleep in a ditch, you sorry sack, and Jenna laughing, loud and sharp. The diner goes quiet. Even Carla stops wiping the counter. Jenna's sobs cut off like someone flipped a switch. Linda's glaring at me, and Travis shifts, uncomfortable. Here's the deal, I say, calm as I can manage. You've got 3 days to put that $9,000 back in the account. You've got 1 week to get your stuff out of my house. And Jenna, if you want any shot at fixing this marriage, we're going to counseling. No excuses. Linda scoffs, loud. We're not leaving that house, Thomas. We've got rights too. I tap the phone. This video says otherwise. I've got timestamps, weather reports, state emergency declared that night. You endangered my life, and I've got proof. I'll send this to your boss, Jenna, to Greg's golf buddies, to every cousin you've got. Or I can talk to a lawyer about theft and reckless endangerment. Your call. Jenna's staring at the table, tears dripping onto her hands. Travis mutters something under his breath, but he's not grinning anymore. Linda's face is red, like she's about to explode. I stand up, toss a 5 on the table for the coffee. Let me know by tonight what you decide, Jenna. I'm done playing nice. I walk out, head high, feeling their eyes on my back. Outside, the cold hits me, but it's nothing compared to that night in the snow. I climb into my truck, crank the heat, and sit there for a minute. I don't know if they'll cave or fight, but one thing's for sure, I'm not backing down. Not this time. It's still January 16th, 2025, late afternoon now, and I'm back at Mike's place, sitting on his porch with a beer in my hand. The sky's gray, heavy with more snow coming, and my truck's parked out front, engine still ticking as it cools off from the drive. I left Jenna and her crew at the diner a few hours ago, laid out my terms clear as daylight, $9,000 back in 3 days, them out of my house in a week, counseling if she wants a chance. Now it's on them to move, and I'm just waiting. My new flip phone's silent in my pocket, and I'm not touching the old one yet. I need the quiet. Mike's inside, banging around in the kitchen, making some chili he swears will fix all my problems. He's been a rock these past few days, letting me crash here, loaning me cash, even tossing me a pair of his jeans since mine were starting to smell like a locker room. I owe him big, but he just waves it off. You do the same, he says, and he's right. I take a swig of beer, let the cold burn my throat, and replay that diner scene in my head. Jenna crying, Linda glaring, Travis squirming. They didn't see that video coming. Neither did I. Really, I've forgotten I hit record that night until I scrolled through my phone yesterday. Lucky break. Around 6 p.m., my flip phone buzzes. It's a text from Jenna. We need to talk. Can I come to Mike's? I stare at it for a minute, weighing it. She knows where he lives, dropped by once last year for a barbecue, but I don't trust her not to bring the whole circus again. Alone, I text back. No Travis, no Linda. 7 p.m. She replies quick. Okay. I finish my beer, head inside, and tell Mike what's up. He nods, ladles chili into a bowl for me. You want me to stick around or clear out? He asks. Stay, I say. Might need a witness. 7 rolls around, and headlights cut through the dusk. Jenna's little sedan pulls up, and she steps out alone, like I asked. She's bundled in a coat, hands stuffed in her pockets, and walks up slow, like she's scared I'll bolt. I open the door, let her in. Mike's in the living room, pretending to watch TV, but I know he's listening. Jenna sits on the edge of the couch, eyes on the floor. I'm sorry, Tom, she starts, voice small. About the money, the lockout, all of it. I didn't mean for it to go that far. I lean against the wall, arms crossed. You laughed, Jenna. Laughed while I was freezing out there. And you stole from me. $9,000. Explain that. She flinches, wipes her nose. Mom and Dad, they guilt me into it. Said we owed them for moving in, helping us out. Dad's deal went bad, and they were desperate. I didn't tell you because I knew you'd say no. I nod slow. Damn right I'd say no. It's our money, not their piggy bank. She looks up, eyes wet. They're moving out tomorrow. I told them they had to. And the money, Dad's selling some stuff. You'll have it by Wednesday. I don't say anything. Just let her keep going. I want to try counseling, she says. I know I messed up, Tom. I let them run everything our house us. I don't want to lose you. Her voice cracks, and for a second, I feel that old pull, the one that always made me cave when she cried. But it fades fast. Why'd you laugh? I ask, quiet. She blinks, confused. That night, when Travis told me to sleep in a ditch. You laughed. Why? She swallows hard. I don't know. It was stupid. Travis said it'd be funny, teach you to lighten up. I didn't think you'd leave. I shake my head. You didn't think I'd leave because I never do, right? Always the guy who sticks around, takes it. Not anymore. She starts crying again, but I don't move. Go home, Jenna, I say. I'll check the account Wednesday. If the money's there and they're gone, we'll talk counseling. That's it. She nods, stands up, and shuffles out. Mike turns off the TV after she's gone. You okay, man? He asks. Yeah, I say, and I mean it. I don't know if I want counseling or just a clean break, but I'm not bending this time. Wednesday'll tell me a lot. For now, I eat chili, crash on the couch, and sleep better than I have in days. It's January 18th, 2025, a Wednesday morning, and I'm up early at Mike's place, sitting at his rickety kitchen table with a mug of coffee that's strong enough to wake a coma patient. The snow's still piled up outside, but the plows have been through, and the world's starting to move again. Today's the deadline I gave Jenna, 3 days to get that $9,000 back in our account. I've got my new flip phone on the table, and my old one's charging in the corner, buzzing every few minutes with messages I'm ignoring for now. I'm antsy, checking the clock every 10 seconds, waiting for a decent hour to hit the bank. Mike's already gone. He's got a roofing job across town, so it's just me and the quiet. Around 9 a.m., I grab my jacket, lock up, and drive my truck to the bank. The parking lot's half empty, and the teller, a guy named Rick I've seen before, gives me a nod when I walk in. Need to check my account, I say, sliding him my ID. He types away, then turns the screen so I can see. There it is, $9,000, deposited yesterday afternoon. I stare at it, feeling this weird mix of relief and anger. They did it, but it doesn't erase what they pulled. Everything good? Rick asks. Yeah, I mutter for now. I thank him, head back to the truck, and sit there with the engine idling. The money's back, but it's not just about that. It's the lying, the laughing, the way Jenna let her family treat me like dirt under their boots. I pull out my flip phone and text her. Saw the deposit. They out yet? She replies fast. Yes. Moved out yesterday. Can we talk? I don't answer right away. Instead, I drive to the house, my house, ready to see it for myself. When I pull up, the driveway's empty. No sign of Greg's beat-up SUV or Travis's rusty pickup. I grab the new lock set I bought from the hardware store, walk up, and let myself in with my key. The place feels different, stale, like it's been holding its breath. First thing I notice is the living room's a mess. They dragged the furniture around. My old leather chair's shoved by the fireplace, the coffee table's cockeyed, and the TV's unplugged, cords dangling like a kid gave up on a puzzle. I check the kitchen. Fridge is bare, not even a ketchup packet left. Upstairs, their rooms are cleared out, but they left trash, empty beer cans, a broken lamp, some of Linda's tacky floral curtains balled up in a corner. I stand there, taking it in. They're gone, but they made sure to leave a mess, one last jab on their way out. I spend the next couple hours fixing it, putting the furniture back, tossing their junk, changing the locks. The new deadbolt clicks into place, and I feel a weight lift. This is mine again. No more late-night lectures from Greg about his business ideas, no more Travis hogging the couch with his feet up. Just me. Around noon, my flip phone buzzes again. Jenna, I'm at the park by the library. Please meet me. Alone. I sigh, rub my face. I don't want to, but I told her we'd talk if they followed through, and they did. Fair's fair. I drive over, park near the swings, and spot her on a bench, bundled in a scarf, staring at her hands. She looks up when I walk over, eyes puffy like she hasn't slept. I sit down, keep some space between us. They're out, I say. Money's back. Now what? She takes a shaky breath. I'm so sorry, Tom. I know I keep saying it, but I mean it. I let them control me, us, for too long. I want to fix this. Counseling, like you said. Please. Her voice is pleading, and part of me wants to believe her. 6 years together, there were good times, weren't there? Road trips, dumb movie nights, her making me pancakes when I pulled double shifts. But then I see her laughing through that window, fist-bumping Travis, and it's like a bucket of cold water. Why'd you let them do it? I ask. Not just the money, the lockout, treating me like I'm nothing. Why? She bites her lip. They convinced me you were pulling away, that you didn't care about family. Travis said it'd bring you back in line. I was stupid, Tom. I didn't see how toxic they were until you left. I nod slow. And the money? She looks down. Dad swore he'd pay it back. I thought I was helping. I lean back, look out at the snow-covered playground. I don't know if I can trust you again, Jenna. Counseling might help, but I need time. I'm staying at Mike's a while longer. You figure out where you're at, and we'll see. She nods, wipes her eyes. Okay. I'll wait. I get up, walk back to my truck, and drive off. I'm not sure what I want, her back, or a fresh start. But for now, I've got my house, my money, and a little piece of myself I thought I'd lost. That's enough to build on. It's January 20th, 2025, a Friday afternoon, and I'm back at my house, sprawled out in my old leather chair with a beer in hand and the fireplace crackling. The new locks are solid, the furniture's where it belongs, and the place finally feels like mine again. I've been crashing at Mike's most of the week, but today I decided to come home, test it out, see if I can stand the quiet. Jenna's been texting short stuff, nothing pushy, just hope you're okay, and let me know about counseling. I haven't answered yet. My head's still a mess, figuring out what I want. The snow's let up some, and the sun's poking through, turning the yard into a blinding white sheet. I'm halfway through my beer when my flip phone rings, not a text, an actual call. I don't recognize the number, but it's local, so I pick up. Hello. A woman's voice comes through, hesitant but familiar. Tom? It's Sarah. Sarah Wheeler. Jenna's cousin. I sit up, surprised. Sarah's the oddball in Jenna's family, quiet, artsy, always kept her distance from the drama. We got along at holidays, but I haven't seen her in years. Hey, Sarah, I say, cautious. What's up? She takes a breath. I heard what happened, the lockout, the money, all of it. I just wanted to check on you. And maybe tell you some stuff. I set the beer down, lean forward. I'm listening. She starts slow. Jenna called me yesterday, crying her eyes out. Said she messed up bad, that her folks and Travis pushed her into it. I'm not here to defend her, Tom. I think what they did was awful. But I've been where you are. Where I am. I ask. She pauses. Yeah. 10 years ago, Uncle Greg and Aunt Linda pulled the same crap with me. Convinced me to loan them money for one of Greg's schemes, some real estate flip that went bust. When I pushed back, they turned my whole family against me. Said I was selfish, ungrateful. I cut ties after that. Haven't been to a reunion since. I let that sink in. Why didn't you ever say anything? I ask. Didn't think you'd believe me, she says. They're good at playing the perfect family card. I rub my jaw, thinking. So this ain't new for them. Nope, she says. It's a pattern. They latch onto someone, Jenna, me, whoever, and squeeze until there's nothing left. I'm sorry you got caught in it. I nod, even though she can't see me. Thanks, Sarah. That helps, actually. She hesitates again. Look, I'm in town this weekend. If you want to grab coffee, talk more, I'd be up for it. No pressure. I don't know why, but I say, yeah, sure. Tomorrow, 11, at Carla's Diner. Sounds good, she says, and we hang up. Next morning, I'm at the diner, same booth as always. Sarah walks in tall, dark hair pulled back, wearing a beat-up denim jacket. She smiles, sits down, and orders tea. You look better than I expected, she says. I shrug. Been a hell of a week. We talk for an hour about her fallout with the family, how she rebuilt her life, moved to a little place upstate. She's a painter now, sells stuff online, keeps it simple. You don't have to forgive Jenna, she says at one point. But you don't have to let them define you either. I didn't. That sticks with me. After she leaves, I drive home and finally check my old phone. More messages from Jenna, a couple from Linda trying to guilt me back. I delete them all, block their numbers. Then I call my sister, Lisa. She's been out of the loop, lives a few hours away. I tell her everything, start to finish. She's quiet, then says, Tom, you should have called me sooner. Come visit next weekend. Bring your tools. I've got a leaky faucet. I laugh, first real one in days. Deal. That night, I sit by the fire again, thinking about Sarah's words. I don't know if counseling's worth it with Jenna, too much trust gone. But I've got Lisa, Mike, maybe even Sarah in my corner now. People who don't see me as a doormat. I crack another beer, watch the flames, and feel something shift. Not peace, not yet, but a start. Tomorrow's a new day, and I'm not looking back. It's January 27th, 2025, a Friday evening, and I'm driving north in my truck, headed to my sister Lisa's place a few hours out of town. The snow's thinned out on the highways, and the heater's blasting, keeping the cab warm against the late winter chill. My toolbox is rattling in the back. Lisa's faucet's getting fixed this weekend, whether it likes it or not. I've got a 6-pack of beer on the passenger seat and a thermos of coffee Mike brewed me before I left. The house is locked up tight behind me, new deadbolt gleaming, and for the first time in weeks, I feel like I'm moving forward instead of just hanging on. It's been a wild ride since that night in the snow. Jenna's family is gone, moved out, money returned, no more fingerprints on my life. I met with Jenna one last time after talking to Sarah, back at the park on Monday. She showed up alone, hands fidgeting, eyes hopeful. Counseling starts tomorrow, she said. I found a place. Will you come? I looked at her, really looked, and saw the woman I married mixed up with someone I don't recognize anymore. No, I said, calm but firm. I'm done, Jenna. I can't trust you, and I don't want to spend my days wondering if you'll pick them over me again. She cried, begged a little, but I just walked away. Papers are filed now, divorce is in motion. She didn't fight it. Back at the house, I've been reclaiming things. Painted the living room a deep blue, none of that beige Linda forced on us. Bought a new mattress, one that doesn't sag where Travis crashed too many nights. Even got a stray cat hanging around the porch now, gray tabby I named Rusty. I leave food out, and he's starting to stick close. Feels good having something alive around that doesn't ask for my paycheck. Work steady too. Dave gave me extra shifts, and I'm saving up again, this time in an account Jenna can't touch. Sarah's been a surprise. We've texted a bit since the diner, mostly about dumb stuff, her latest painting, my cat's antics. She's coming to Lisa's this weekend too, says she's got family nearby and figured she'd drop in. I don't know what that means yet, friendship. Maybe more down the line, but I'm not rushing it. She gets what I've been through, and that's enough for now. Lisa's thrilled, says it's about time I had decent people around me. She's not wrong. I pull into Lisa's driveway around 8 p.m. She's got a little brick house, porch light on, smoke curling from the chimney. She steps out as I park, waving, her husband Dan behind her with their mud. Buddy, barking his head off. Took you long enough, Lisa says, grinning. I haul my toolbox out, give her a hug. Had to dodge a few snowdrifts, I say. Dan claps me on the shoulder, hands me a beer. Heard you've been through it, man. You good? Getting there, I tell him, and I mean it. Saturday's a blur. Fixing the faucet turns into fixing half the house. Dan and I wrestle with a busted shelf, a creaky door, while Lisa cooks chili and yells at us to stop swearing in front of Buddy. Sarah shows up around noon, carrying a canvas she painted, a rusty old truck that looks a lot like mine. Housewarming gift, she says, smirking. I hang it in Lisa's kitchen, right where everyone can see. We eat, laugh, play cards late into the night. It's simple, easy, the kind of day I forgot I could have. Sunday morning, I'm on Lisa's porch with coffee, watching the sun climb over the trees. Sarah's next to me, quiet, sipping tea. You're different now, she says after a while. Not the guy I met at Jenna's wedding. I nod. That guy froze out there in the snow. Took me a while to thaw out. She smiles, small but real. Glad you did. I drive home that afternoon, Rusty waiting on the porch when I pull up. Divorce will be final in a few months, but I'm not waiting for it to start living. Got a fishing trip planned with Mike next week. Maybe a painting lesson from Sarah if I don't suck at it. The house is mine, the money's mine, and so's the road ahead. That night in the blizzard broke something, sure, but it built something too, me, the guy I should have been all along. I crack a beer, scratch Rusty's ears, and watch the fire. Life's not perfect, sink's dripping again, but it's good. And that's plenty.